guys, so today we are going to be learning how to do a traditional granny square. This is an easy crochet method that you can use to put together tote bags, clothing, basically anything your heart desires. We're going to start this granny square tutorial with a magic circle. If you don't know how to do a magic circle, I'm actually going to upload a video tutorial of that very soon, but you can always watch about 1900 other YouTube videos to really get the hang of it, and my last video as well. One thing I love about granny squares is they're usually pretty repetitive, so once you learn it once, you'll remember it. So we're starting with our magic circle, and we're going to actually chain just 2. So after we've chained our 2, we're going to do 3 double crochets into that magic circle. And then at the end of our double crochets, we're going to do 1 chain. So that's 1 double crochet. There's 2. And then there's going to be 3. We're not counting our chain. So 3 actual double crochets in 1 chain. Now we're going to chain 1. You'll understand why we change 1 in the future. It's actually going to create the corners for our square. Or we're going to double crochet 3 more times into that magic circle. By the end, we're going to have a total of 12 double crochets. So there's my 3rd again, and now we're going to chain 1 again. And then the exact same thing, 3 more. 1, 2 double crochet, and 3. Now I'm just checking. I see 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means 1 more chain, and then another interval of 3. There's 1, 2 double crochet, and then 3 double crochet. So now after those 3, we're not going to chain. We're going to pull our magic circle closed. You usually do that by grabbing the, working yarn and then that loose end, and it should come tight. And I'll just get situated. And this is kind of where we're going to make that chain, if you will, but it's not actually a chain. We're just going to make it a double crochet kind of into the circle. And what we're trying to get in between is the first chain you ever made in your magic circle. We're trying to get right behind that. So take that double crochet, and now we're going to leave it. Not complete the double crochet, we're just going to leave it with those 3 pieces of yarn on it. We'll give that a cut. And then this is where we're going to actually change our color. So I like to take the new color and kind of just fold it over itself and create a little U. And then once you have the U, you're just going to pull it through all 3 of those. And then this is not tricky, but just watch my hands kind of. I'm just tightening all of it. I'm holding the working yarn. You see the 2 kind of dead ends, I just kind of tuck behind it. I'm just going to chain 2 with the new color. Then once I've chained 2, I'm going to turn my work around. And this is just going to make sure our granny square looks, good on both sides. Taking those dead ends, and I'm going to crochet over top of them. So we're just going to hold these to the side of our work. And we're going to find our hole. There's always 4 holes on a granny square that you're going to be making corners. We're going to yarn over and doing our double crochets on top of those little dead ends. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet into that hole, and 3 double crochets into that same hole, and we're kind of going right over top of our dead ends. So now what you'll have is a chain, 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to kind of sit our work down and we're going to deal with these ends. What you want to do, some people will weed them in and all this, funky stuff. I just like to tie mine twice, kind of like a knot, and then I trim away the ends. And it kind of gets hidden as I kind of yarn over and keep continuing with my granny square. So I just double knot and give it a snip. And it's basically gone. It's kind of hidden and you won't see it again. And you don't, run the chance of it sneaking out, coming out of the weave. So there's 4 holes on a granny square. We're gonna go into each of those holes. This is the first hole. We're not chaining at all here. We're going straight from the 3 double crochets, and we're gonna put 3 more double crochets into this first hole. 1, 2, 3. Now we're technically going to be on our first corner. So you can see how that's going. There's going to be a corner right here. So when we see a corner, we need to chain 1. And now 3 more double crochets to really make that whole corner. Into the same hole, there's 1 double crochet, 2, and 1 more, and this will create our first granny square corner. There we go. Now no chain, because this is a straight side. We're going to go straight into that hole with 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and then we're on a corner, so you're gonna be chaining 1, and now we're gonna create 3 more double crochets to finish that corner. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now we're on a straight side, so there's no chain needed. We're going to go straight into that third hole with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then a corner makes you chain 1 and double crochet 3 more times. 2, 3. Now we're going to finish that first corner that we started ever by doing 3 into that hole, because we already did the other 3 when we started. 1, 2, last one, there's 3, and it is a corner, so we're gonna add that chain 1 at the end. There it is. Now we're gonna go to that first chain we ever created in our granny square, the first chain ever, and we're gonna slip knot through that. We're gonna double crochet through that, but we're gonna finish there. So not a slip knot. We're gonna yarn over, sneak through our chain hole, and leave the 3 loops on there. And you know what we're doing, we're changing color. So it's the same thing every time. I like to make a little U with my new color, and I like to pull it through all three. And then you just kind of have to work with it and get it nice and tight again. Squeeze all of the threads. There we go. Get your working yarn, keep your dead ends to the side for the first start of here. Chain 1, chain 2, then we're going to flip our work like we did the last time. Now, same thing, we take those dead ends and we pull them to the side of our work and we hold them quite tightly. And we're going to be putting 3 double crochets into our first hole. There's 1 double crochet. There's 2. There's 3. And that's the first half of our first corner. And like what I said before, we like to tie these 2 dead ends, you know, kind of just twice double knot them and then snip them away, and they will be covered, out of sight, out of mind. Perfect. And now you see with this granny square, we've completed the first half of the first corner, but can you recognize that there's 1 more loop to do this time? So it's going to increase every time. So we're going to go into that first hole. This will be our first straight side, so there's no need to chain. Straight into that hole, and you guessed it, 3 double crochets. That's 2, and that's 3. So this is our first straight side that we're completing. Perfect. Now we're reaching for the corner, the true corner. So 3 double crochets into that corner hole. 1, 2, 3. And now we actually are creating a corner. So we're going to chain 1. And then you know what to do. 3 more into that same hole. Perfect. There's 3. So now that we're done the 3, we're back onto a straight side of our square. So that means we're going to be doing 3 double crochets into that loop with no chain in between, just 3 double crochets. And I feel like you guys get it by now. We're counting 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're putting 3 into the hole. 1, 2, 3, and then because we're working on an actual corner, we're going to chain 1. It's very repetitive, right? So to create a corner, we're going to do 3 more. I feel like once you complete one of these granny squares, you can really keep doing them. It's really easy to remember. There's 3. Now we don't need to chain at all. We're on a straight stretch of the square, so we're just going to double crochet 3 times into that loop. There's 2. And there's 3. Perfect. Now we're looking for that next loop, which will be a corner. 1, 2, 3. Just making sure my count's good. And we're going to put 3. And you know the same thing over and over and over. Chain 1 and put 3 more. So I'll just let you guys watch the rest of this tutorial, and I hope you guys can follow along with what I'm doing. It's the same thing over and over. There's 3. And just keep looking at your work, checking, making sure it's symmetrical, making sense. Always count your 3 double crochets in each hole. Make sure you count your chain for your corners, and you will be a-okay. And just make sure when you're finishing your last 3 double crochets for the round that you're finishing in the exact same hole that you started your first ever chain in for the round. So that's 3 into the same hole that you started on in the very first place. Perfect. Now, instead of chaining, we're yarning over. We're going through that chain. Our first ever chain, we're going through it with our yarn over. Pull through, and you got 3 loops, and you're gonna leave it there. And then it's rinse and repeat with every step and every color. So I'm gonna let you guys just enjoy the rest of this tutorial. I'll come in when necessary, but it's gonna be super repetitive. If you're still following along, that's amazing. So this end is a little different. When we're finished doing our third double crochet, we are finally gonna actually chain 1 at the end of this round. So 3 double crochet, chain 1. The reason being is because we are finishing the round, so we do need that extra little space to make it a corner. We're not switching colors, we're finishing. So after we've done that little chain 1, we're going to find our first ever chain on that round, and we're gonna go right through it and slip knot. So no more double crochet, change color, we're just doing a slip knot. That's that. And then 1 more. And we're just gonna pull it super tight and tie it off. And you have completed your first granny square. So I hope you guys understood. It was not hard, it's all repetitive. I'm just gonna loop this a few times and tie it a few times. And that's kind of how I end the granny square. Keeps it intact. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. We will be using these granny squares in a later video. So if you're following along, you might want to keep your granny square you created and make 3 to 4 more, because I want to show you guys how to make a purse in the near future. So practice your granny squares, save yourself some, and come back and we'll use them to make something really cool.